quick project today. My son is no longer in the pack and play, and we need to build a new bed today because we're going camping next week. So I'll show you in the back bunk there what the plan is. I have a piece of diaper box and a tape measure and a Sharpie and another GoPro. So we're just, we're gonna do this for real, and I'll show you what we're working with here. Over here is where we used to have the pack and play. You can see where the paint is missing. So that is, that's where we were, but we have our top bunk here that you guys have seen. So this is for our older kid, and now we want to build another bunk below that to for our son. So got to get this stuff cleared out. All right, hopefully you guys can see enough of this. So don't need anything fancy. Piece of cardboard, Sharpie, tape measure. So generally we want to make this out of plywood, and we want it to be full length twin, which I think is like 80 inches. I know the top one is. So essentially we just want a flat piece of plywood. Please ignore my cat. She's very annoying. I think we're going to mount it, use this as part of the, basically the height. So I think we're going to put a piece of wood on here that's the same height as that, come out as much as necessary, go over, we'll put a support over there, and then we'll have a couple supports under it. Fun fact about tape measures is that instead of using the tape measure and running it up to the corner of things like that, that's very imprecise. Most tape measures that are any good will have a number on the back. This one says 3 inches. That's pretty standard, but look at what your tape measure says. So instead of measuring it the way I showed you, you just run the tape measure all the way up to the end, read what it says, and then add 3 inches. So this says 77 5/8. So we're at 80 5/8 is our measurement. I think we want 81 by 30. So I'm going to put a mark on the wall here. All right, so we got 81 by 30. I'm going to draw it out. We just need one sheet of plywood. Cut it up, and that's what we're gonna make. Let's do it. Let's go to Menards. Get the truck ready here. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this filming while driving thing. So I have become aware that not everybody knows what Menards is. And if you live in the Midwest, then you need to know what Menards is, because it's the best place to get pretty much anything hardware related. Well, that didn't take long. So Menards sells, it's like a bigger, better Home Depot. They just plumbing, woodworking, well, not woodworking, but plumbing, electrical, appliances, plywood, building materials, etc. It's huge, and they have better prices and better materials, and so that's why I go to Menards. I have one that's pretty close to me, and they just, you know, probably if you've ever built anything, you've gone to Home Depot and bought a 2x4 or several 2x4s, and not a single one of them are straight. Menards 2x4s, most of them are pretty straight, and they are as cheap or cheaper usually than the blue and orange stores. So we're taking you with us to Menards today. And I just went in and kind of remeasured things right before I left and changed my mind a little bit about the dimensions. So I'll show you when we get back, but basically instead of it being 30 inches wide, I think I'm gonna make it 28 and a half inches wide. It'll stick out into the room a little less, and it'll still fit the narrow twin mattress that we used in the top bunk, which is 28 inches wide. Know the secret to using ratchet straps, you just gotta flick it and say that's not going anywhere. Okay, pro tip: if you are working alone and you need to cut 4x8 sheet of plywood, do not use a table saw and don't use saw horses. Cut it on the ground on a scrap sheet of foam and use a track saw or a circular saw. So much easier, way less dangerous, better cuts every time. So I'm using what's called ACX plywood. It's 3/4 inch. AC means that one side, in this case the back side that you can't see right now, is the A side, and this is the C side. There's also A, B, and different variations, meaning that like the A side, this is the highest quality. It's really, really good. There's no imperfections. The C side, AC, the C side has problems on it. It's not perfect. It's good, but not great, right? So it's got this little stain thing here. It's got a little split right here. Well, have a split in this outside layer, and there's another one down here. And there's just some imperfections, but for my purposes, that's fine. I don't care what the underside of this looks like. I just want the A side to look good, the top side. So it's important to put this down and remember which side you're cutting on, because if you're cutting something that's unsymmetrical, like what I'm about to do, and you cut it so that the C side is the side that needs to be up, then you're gonna have a product that you're not very happy with. So orientation like that matters. Remember, safety third. We need some final measurements. We'll draw it out on our board here and we'll get this thing cut up. I originally told you that I was going to do it 30 inches wide, but if I do 30 inches deep, then this is going to stick out past here. Sorry, there's a little better view, and I think that would look funny. So instead, I'm going to go from the back wall all the way out to here, and it'll be flush with that. So that means that we got to put this little foot into this whole thing here. We have our final measurements. Let's put them on the plywood, see what everything looks like. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if this is gonna fit in here through the door. Okay, I don't really know how, but I finally figured out how to get it through the door. Let's see if it fits. First try. That pretty much never happens. I will take that. And so this is what I was trying to show you before. So now this is nice and flush on there. I think that looks a lot better than the way I had it before. So if you haven't been able to tell, this is not going to be a fine woodworking channel. Although I enjoy watching those, I'm not one of those kind of people. I'm more of a let's get it done and do a decent job kind of person. Now we just need to work on the center support here, because this isn't going to do, but now that this is in, we can kind of measure it in place, and that's going to make this a lot easier. The majority, this is basically 80 inches long, so let's support it right in the middle. Seems like that kind of makes sense. Okay, we're back here, and this is our scrap piece from our cut earlier. Another pro tip for the day: don't trust these numbers. They're probably going to be close, but if you want your cut to be right the first time, just measure it up against the blade. Ideally, unplug it first. And I measure the front and the back of the blade against the fence to make sure that the fence is parallel to the blade, because if for whatever reason the back of the fence is too close to the saw blade, when you push the wood through, it's going to pinch and start smoking and binding. It's no good. Pretty good. I don't want this to kick out on either side like that, so I'm going to take this back out. I'm going to put a couple pocket holes on either side, and we'll screw this right down through the floor, and then run a couple screws through the top, and then this will be super solid. If you haven't used pocket holes before, they're great. And this jig, this is a Harbor Freight one, but it basically gives you a nice diagonal hole that you can shoot screws through, and the head is completely concealed inside of that little cutout. All right, that's rock solid. I'll throw a couple more in the back here. We're good to go. Gonna put a couple screws over here to hold these corners down. We have a new bed back here. So my wife's going to order some storage bins that will slide under each of these, and then maybe in the future we'll dress it up a little bit. Certainly it needs painted and stuff, but like I said earlier, we have a trip coming up in 6 days, so it's this is what we needed. We're going to order we're gonna order a mattress and we'll be good. Plenty of room. Thanks for hanging out and seeing my imperfect way of building things, but that's how a lot of this bus got done. So we're just doing the best we can in the time that we have, and that's what we did today. We got this done, knocked out, and we'll dress it up in the future, and I'll be sure to check back in and tell you about that later. But this is going to get us on the road for next week, so check back soon for more content coming up from Cuyahoga National Park in northeastern Ohio. See you next time.